everybody in that suit me. Where is that form? Because I have
You
this
better
one.
know these.
You have to
Come
read it
practical.
out.
It's right here, Chris. What is she asking?
Friday?
No, Friday is going crap. Yeah, no, you're still sick.
Where though?
Don't you worry. But on the practical for goniometry this Friday, what do we have to know? Axis, stationary arm, moving arm, and moving arm, and what else? And the normal degrees of motion. Good. And you're going to be reporting to me what you find, so you have to be able to compare that to normal. So if I look at his elbow flexion and it's 0 to 50 degrees, because you're going to tell me how you report that. How would you report what you found? 0 to 50 degrees. Okay, is that normal?
No.
No. Okay, we're good with that? All right. Check. Let me consider it. Okay, no, yeah, it's still gonna be picky because y'all are gonna be Goni pros. All right, you're gonna be great in the class.
Yeah. What you found this on?
You worked very hard on being great at palpating. The next step is being great at Goni. Yeah, someone's good at it.
I think
All right, everybody's good now. We're set. All through stretching. All right, so we're gonna move on, and you should have your other paper I gave you the other day about manual resistance. Then we're moving on just in general to moving a little beyond just manual resistance, but let's find our little happy paper. Do it Bob Ross style. Little happy paper. A little happy chuck. Yes, that's what mine looks like from afar. Oh, that was my stretching one, sorry. It's next. Yeah, manual resistance, closed chain, isometric. What's up? Looks something like that.
Where did we get this form from?
Eric, did you lose my paper?
Where?
She gave it to us.
Everybody good? Everybody else good?
We're good.
Work and see if I can print it. In the intro.
She can put one out in the middle.
Yeah, good. Alright. Okay guys, so we're going with this paper. So we want to start first with talking about how we would do manual resistance. And then if we get through this and have a little bit of time left, because who knows, I want you to get with your partner and start trying to think of some fun exercises to do closed chain and isometrics. Okay, so we're going to start with just doing manual resistance to make sure you're okay with that. And then I want you to think through doing closed chain and isometric on your own after that, okay? So just some fun ideas. All right, so we're starting at the top. We'll go back to doing shoulder flexion and extension. Sarah, do you want to be my pawn? Okay. Oh, Miranda has a job, dude. I probably can just set that up. So you don't have to take that.
Are you on this table?
I'm gonna be down here. All right, Sarah, do 2 times head this way, feet that way for me. Think that would be good.
Stretching would be on musculoskeletal.
Yes.
Sarah has a lot of things going on here. Yeah, a lot of things. Okay, so I'm not going to be as picky this time. You'll all be happy to know that when we do this part, I'm going to be okay with you leaving their clothes on. So that's happy. Sarah's happy. She seems more comfortable. The one thing I do want you to watch, so you is for things like a watch, okay? So I don't want you guys, when we're going through the movement, if we're gonna do resistance in places, then I want you to make sure that you're not pressing into anything that's uncomfortable. My favorite story about doing any type of resisted testing or exercise is at UT, there was somebody who wore kind of like an old school plastic hairband situation, and the student straight up just went right on top of that bad boy and pushed down. And the partner was like trying not to say anything, but you know that hurts. Those little teeth are just like digging into the top of the person's head. And he's just sitting there pushing and pushing. And he's like, yeah, seems fine. And I was like, is there anything maybe we can see with? So all that to say, it's okay if they have things on for this, as long as you're not pushing into them. Okay, so if they're not getting in your way, that's fine. But if they happen to be right in a landmark you might want or need, then we want to try to, ease that away. Okay, so shoulder flexion, we're gonna start there. So she wants to go through this motion. So remember, we can take her passively through the movement. This is the motion we're gonna work on. Remember how you've been having a little hard time reaching up overhead? That's the motion that we're gonna go through. But this time, I'm gonna resist you, okay? So if you've already done passive motion, I know she has the range, right? I want to check and make sure she has active range of motion. Can you take your arm up overhead like we just did? So I know she has active range. And then our next step in progression is to move to resisted exercise. So there's no point in doing resistance if her range stops here. If that is her active range of motion, you are probably not ready to start working on resisted movement. Does that make sense to everybody? Because it doesn't make sense to only be strong right through here, right? That's not helpful. We want to make sure she keeps getting more and more movement. And once she has the movement, that's when we want to go back through and start working on resistance. Check. So essentially it's passive, then maybe it's active assisted. Oh, good, she's getting stronger, then it just becomes active. Let me see you do it. Great job, down. Awesome, all the way down. Oh, you're getting so strong, we're proud of you. Good, okay? And then once she's good at that, we move into our resisted phase, okay? So our resisted exercise, we wanna go ahead and make sure her positioning is good. Remember, she wants to be externally rotated for flexion, abduction, or scaption, okay? Because we want to clear that femoral head, make sure it's safe. And as she goes into the movement, I'm gonna give her some light resistance, okay? So I'm just gonna keep my hands here. I'm gonna try to resist her more from the bottom hand, all right? And then I'm just gonna switch my hands when she starts to come back down. Okay, so we're gonna go up into flexion. I'm gonna give her that resistance. Remember, you still want her to win, because I want her to go through the movement. Okay, and then we come back down into extension. Good, give me all you got, give me all you got. Oh, look at her getting stronger, good job. Okay, back up again. There we go. Good, and then back down. Good. And so this hand's doing more of the guiding, this hand's doing more of the resisting closer to the joint. So I'm just in front of that elbow joint. We don't like to give a lot of resistance across joints. So if I just push into her here, now it's coming through her wrist to take a lot of the force. Instead, we want to try to make sure we're giving force where we want it. Okay? So manual resistance, flexion, and then coming back down to neutral position. We'll say that for her extension. Just come into neutral. Okay? If we're doing horizontal AB and adduction, this is the motion, Mel. You know how we've been working on this so hard. We're so hard. Okay, can I see you do it on your own a couple times? Ooh, look at that. Okay, so I know she has her active movement. I know she has the range passively. Good. Okay, now this time when you do it, I'm gonna give you some resistance. All right, so again, I'm gonna come from here. So I'm gonna leave my other hand there, just in case I estimate wrong and she starts to lose control a little bit. So I'm gonna keep my hands here ready. All right, when she comes back this way, I need to be on this side. When she comes back this way, I need to be on this side to give resistance. So I'm just resisting whichever way she's going, okay? All right, so go ahead and go across your body. Good, now try to bring it back. Ooh, getting stronger. All right, be a little more this time. Good, bring it back. Great job, good. Any questions? Y'all are okay with that, huh? Did you see okay? Y'all are good with that? So basically, when you're doing any type of manually resisted exercise, it's probably a transition that she's not quite ready to do something with hairband or with a dumbbell, or maybe you're kind of mixing and matching. So maybe she's strong enough to do a few things going this way, but she's having a hard time still getting flexion towards end range. So we just want to kind of meet her where she is. Remember, that's an advantage of doing manual resistance, is that when she starts struggling, so struggle a little. Oh, she's struggling a little, she's struggling. I can ease up my pressure. And then when she starts getting stronger, so push back. Oh yeah, oh, okay, come on then, come on. Okay, I can make her work a little bit harder when I feel that she's getting stronger in the range. So I can adjust much easier than if I just slapped a wrist weight on her and said, all right, go on, do your thing, or gave her yellow TheraBand. And I was like, all right, see what you got. Okay, so that's an advantage of doing manual resistance with your patients. Okay, you want to start with just those couple? Let's do that. All right, so we'll break there. So do flexion and coming back down towards neutral extension, and then horizontal AB and adduction.